Picture this. You're standing in the aftermath of an earthquake. Glass in your hair, dust in your lungs, the silence so loud you think your bones might crack. You turn around, but she's already gone, like she was never there at all. And here you are, surrounded by the ruins of everything you built for her, holding the blueprints to a future she never planned to live in. Stop. Listen. Nobody teaches men how to be the ghost in someone else's story. They teach you to chase, to apologize, to love louder, to scream your worth into the void. But what if I told you the only way she'll ever regret losing you is if you disappear so completely, she starts to wonder if you ever existed at all. Imagine this. Your absence is not a black hole. It's an entire universe collapsing and being reborn without her at the center. She expects you to linger, to send one more message, to just check in, to haunt her socials like a polite shadow, but you don't. Instead, you vanish with the grace of a magician. No note, no warning, no apology for leaving the show early, and suddenly she's left performing for an empty theater. You want to know what regret really is? It's standing on a stage and realizing the only person who ever truly saw you is already gone. She'll scroll through her phone at midnight, type your name just to see if you're online, curious. But the ache in her chest will say otherwise. And when she lies awake next to someone new, someone who doesn't know how to read her storms, doesn't know how to calm her monsters, she'll start to replay your silence like a favorite song. But that song has no lyrics, no chorus, just an echo of everything she lost because she thought you'd always be there. Let's make this clear. You don't disappear to teach her a lesson. You disappear because you finally understand that love is not a charity, and you are not the cure for her boredom. You become a myth, not out of spite, but out of self-respect. Because here's the ugly truth. The men who haunt women's minds aren't the ones who begged for closure. They're the ones who walked into the mist and let their absence bloom into legend. Think about how many times you gave her the benefit of the doubt. How many times you wrote her name in the fog on your mirror, hoping the universe would send her back with better intentions. Now picture this. You wake up and she's not the first thing on your mind. Her memory is just a ghost in the hallways of a house you've already left behind. You start living. Not to make her jealous, not for the Instagram story, but for the thrill of being a man who finally chose himself. You spend entire days without checking her profile. You fill the silence with music that doesn't hurt. You catch yourself laughing and realize it's not for show. You become the man who doesn't need a witness. And when she reaches out, because regret is patient and it always circles back, you don't flinch, you don't answer. You don't feed the fire that once burned you alive. She'll start to remember the small things, the way you listened without judgment, the inside jokes, the rare, quiet moments where she felt safe, even from herself. But you're already gone. You've become the rarest thing a woman can lose, a man who refuses to be an echo. Here's what makes this real. Regret doesn't live in noise. Regret is born in empty rooms, unread messages, questions that never get answers. The world will tell you to move on, to find someone new, to upgrade. But real power isn't in moving on, it's in moving beyond. You build a life so rich, so private, so untouchable, that even your memories become sacred ground she's not allowed to visit. You become the one who got away because you ran toward yourself. And as the months turn to years, she'll tell people she's over you. But deep down, you're the splinter she never pulled out. Every love story after you is haunted by the silence you left behind. And you don't just survive. You rise. You become the blueprint for the kind of man she'll measure every lover against, and none of them will fit. That's the price of your disappearance. You give her the missing you for the rest of her life. But more importantly, you give yourself the gift of never being reduced to an option again. If you're still listening, if you feel this in your chest, you're one of the rare ones. The men who don't just close doors, they build new houses. And if you want more brutal truths like this, stuff you'll never hear anywhere else, subscribe to the Closure Club, because the men who disappear don't just get remembered, they get reborn. This is your story now. Let her regret echo in the emptiness. You don't owe anyone your presence, your forgiveness, or your return. Disappear, become your own myth, and let her spend forever trying to find you. in men who will never even come close. That's not revenge. That's freedom. That's closure.